Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 93 of the Karen Knits podcast. Happy New Year everyone. It is Saturday, January the 1st, 2022, and we're here for another year. So it's a dreary, dark, rainy day today. It was pouring this morning. It's still dark. It's cloudy, it's raining off and on, has been all day. It's been a perfect excuse to just stay inside and do nothing. So that's precisely what I've been doing. The husband and I did a jigsaw puzzle earlier today, had a few snacks. We did go out for breakfast, a nice treat for ourselves for the first day of the new year. And we have a nice big pork roast that we're going to put in the Instant Pot for supper tonight. And hubby will put sauerkraut with his. He can have my share. I'm not a fan of the stuff. That's fine. But anyway, I'm going to leave the rest of the chatting part until the end. And let's take a look at what I've been working on this week. So I did get a new cast on. And I did get a bit of work done on one of my existing works in progress. So my existing work in progress is in my fringe supply field bag. And this is my Advent scarf for 2021. And this is a pattern by Trisha Weatherston. And it is a project that comes about through the Sock Madness group on Ravelry, or an offshoot of the Sock Madness group on Ravelry. Now, I don't remember where I was last week. I think I didn't get as much knitting done this past week as I had hoped to, which is fine. But I think all I've done is the first, or basically I think the only thing I've done this last week on this is worked on clue number 13. So I still have a ways to go. I cast on this late, as I just had hand surgery the same day the pattern came out on the 1st of December. So I wasn't able to cast on until the 15th of December. So I'm a little over halfway done now, but I still have quite a bit to go. But you can see here there's one row of purl that's going to cause this cowl to fold and be two-sided. So I need to pick up and get a bit more done on this week. I was hoping to get it done in 2021. Didn't happen. I'm using 2 fingering weight yarns for this. The white is a bear yarn, and the blue is yarn that I dyed myself, and it is yarn that I used on one of my Sock Madness projects, and I still had quite a bit of that left, so I was able to, I have enough to easily complete this cowl with that. The pattern initially, or actually calls for using 2 or multiple colors, I think up to 7 colors. And I've seen a few people who have done theirs in only 2 colors. And I love the look of that. And since I had enough yarn to do it that way, I decided I was going to copy them and do mine the same and just do it in 2 colors. And I'm happy I did make that decision because I am absolutely loving the way it works. It's looking. I can't wait till it's done. I think it's so pretty. And I'm looking forward to getting more of that done in the upcoming week. I will talk towards the end today about my plans for my whips for the next week, and this is going to result in me having hopefully a good amount of progress to show you in the next week or in next week's podcast. Someone's got a really bright light across the street here. Is that the street lights come on? That's awful bright. Awfully bright. Anyway, and my other cast on, or my other project that I've worked on this week, and again, I have not had as much spare time as I would have liked to work on my knitting this week. I was working on a lot of other things around the apartment and spending a good amount of time actually working on listing things on Poshmark, and that ate up quite a bit of my time. But my new cast on is, I started on the 26th of December, and I had mentioned this last podcast that I was planning on casting this on, and I showed you the yarn that I had dyed for it, all that good stuff. But this is Stephen West's Hybrid Knit Along. And there were two different patterns you could choose between. One of them was a triangular shape, one of them was a half moon shape, or like the crescent half pie kind of shape. And that one's called Cabled Trellis, or the Cabled Trellis Shawl. The other one, I did not opt for the triangular. I wanted to do the crescent shape. And again, I dyed my own yarn for it. And the yarn I'm using is worsted weight in this teal and the bear yarn. And we're using, or I'm using 5mm needles, or US size 8. And that's going up. The pattern calls for either DK or worsted. And I believe it called for 4 or 4.5mm needles. And I knew I wanted to go up a needle size because I was using worsted, and I wanted it to be a little bit looser gauge. And I'm loving this. So I'm about halfway through the second section, and here is what we have so far. It's kind of looking all scrunchy bunchy, as it always does early stages. The first section is just a nice simple garter stitch, nice squishy garter stitch. The second section, which I'm about halfway through, I think I'm on row 20 something out of row 40 something, but here's what that looks like. I love it. I think this is so pretty, and it's a technique I don't think I've ever used before, where the cables overlay a stripy pattern and they kind of pop off the fabric, and I just love the way this is looking, and I'm happy with my choice. I was mulling back and forth whether I wanted to use the teal for the cable section and the white for the background section, and I think I'm very happy that I used the white for the cables and that the green is the background color. But or the teal, whatever you want to call it, bluey green teal. But I'm loving this. So once you get beyond this cable section, it's going to expand into like a trellis pattern, where there's going to be a cable pattern that's going to continue expanding out the width of the crescent in this, again, it's a cable, but it's like an overlay with like a trellis kind of pattern. And it looks really pretty. Whoops, I keep bumping the tripod with my knitting needle, sorry. But it's a really pretty looking shawl. And I'm eager to get more done on this. And I'm eager to get the cable section finished so I can get into the trellis section. And then the fourth section is just the border, which is a relatively, as far as a Stephen West pattern is concerned, it's a relatively simple, straightforward picot bind off or picot edge on it. And I'm really enjoying this. I've mostly been working on this in the evenings while we watch TV. So I've done a fair bit relatively speaking, since I cast this on last Sunday. It was later in the day last Sunday when I cast it on. I haven't made as much progress as I would have liked to have done on it, but that's fine. It's all fine. It's not a race. I'm more of a process knitter. I enjoy the process of knitting. I like the finished product when it's done. So I guess maybe I'm a little bit of both process and project knitter. Are those the two terms? Anyway, needless to say, I'm thoroughly enjoying working on this project and the Advent scarf, Advent cowl as well. Ooh, now tickle in my throat. I did not bring my tea bag over here. This is one of my Advent teas. Way down there. It's orange spice. I think it was from the day 14. I didn't keep up with anything doing Advent projects this year. We're long gone out of the Advent season, but I'm still catching up on drinking some of my Advent teas. This one is orange spice, and it's really, really a nice, I'm really enjoying it. It's a really enjoyable tea. What's with my hair? I'm trying to decide, I think I might be getting my hair cut in the next couple weeks. It's getting really thin at the bottoms. And it's overdue for a cut. I might be get at least this much cut off. So if I do opt for that, I will be donating what is cut off. So I'm hoping to get that done in the next week or two. We shall see. So that was a rabbit trail. So that is the extent of my knitting progress for this week. 1 day's worth of Advent scarf and a decent start on my cable trellis shawl. And that's been it for knitting. Like I mentioned earlier, I've been spending a fair bit of my spare time this week listing things, taking pictures of and listing things on Poshmark. And I've also just been spending a lot of time just relaxing, vegging out with the hubby, just enjoying some time off. It's just been really nice. As I mentioned today, I haven't knit. It's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm taping this, and I have not done any knitting yet today. I plan to rectify that very soon. I will be getting going on some knitting after I'm finished filming and get the editing done, and then again during the evening I'll do a bunch of knitting then. But I am planning over the next week to try to get something done on each and every one of my whips in the upcoming week. Right now I have a grand total of 5 whips. And what I find when I get to that many for myself personally is I get a little overwhelmed with that. And it's too many. So what I think I'm going to do this week is I'm going to try to spend some time, a full day, each day this upcoming week, I'll spend a full day working on a different one of my whips in hopes that I can get them not so much under control, but make some progress on each of them. I have a couple of them most of them are well underway. So the 5, I have my Sunday cardigan, which I cast on, I think, the 21st of September. None of them are old whips. All of them have been since the late September and forward. So I have my Sunday cardigan, which I cast on, I believe it was the 21st of September. I have not touched that since the end of November, something like the 29th somewhere between the 20th and the 30th of November. I have not touched it in a month. It has not been touched. So that is the one I'm going to get going on this afternoon. I'm at the point on that one where I probably only have a few more inches to go on the body, and then do the ribbing and the sleeves. So I still have the sleeves to go and to finish the last part of the body. So I probably have about 6 inches of the body and ribbing to do, plus 2 sleeves. So that I would think of that as being well over half finished. So that one I will work on tonight. I also have my Halloween sort of shorty socks. Those one sock is complete, and the second one I have, the leg is finished, the heel flap and heel turn are complete. I'm ready to pick up the gusset and move down the foot. So that one's 60 to almost 75% complete for that one. I cast that on close to I think the 29th of September. I did a little bit of work on it just before Christmas. Did the heel flap and the heel turn, and then I haven't touched it in the last week or so. My third project is shawlography. That's another one I have not touched in quite some time. I have finished, that was a mystery knit along by Stephen West that started in the beginning of October. When the first clue dropped, I had had hand surgery 2 days earlier on my left hand. So that was bad timing. I was behind by 2 weeks before I even cast on. I knew I was going to be behind. But that one, I have 2 out of the 4 clues are complete. So I'm saying that one's half done, 50% done. So that one I cast on, I think October 21st, and I've not touched it since the end of November. So again, that's another one I have not touched in a month. So that's also overdue for some love. And then the 2 I just showed you today are my other 2 to bring me up to 5. So my Advent scarf for 2021 and my hybrid knit along shawl, the cable trellis shawl. So this week coming up, I have 1 week left of my Christmas break from work, but I have 4 different virtual conferences coming up this week. So I will be spending a decent amount of time almost every day for the next week and a little bit, parked in front of the computer, watching and listening to conference sessions. I will be taking a couple notes here and there, but in general, I don't have to participate in any way unless I have some questions that I might want to post into the discussion part of the presentations. But for the most part, I'm just a observer. So I have tons of time this week coming up to knit. And you can get, because I can't do, there's other things I can't get done while I'm parked in front of the laptop and watching these sessions. So Monday, I don't have there's nothing on Monday. I have one conference that runs on Tuesday from I think 9 in the morning till 1. So I'll have a good solid 4 hours of knitting time on Tuesday. The second conference runs on Wednesday and Thursday, both days from 9 till 1. So again, I'll be able to knit all the way through those. Although some of these might have some interactive portions, I'll find out as I'm going. So I'm thinking I might choose a project to work on that I can easily drop and participate and pick up and not have to worry about intense concentration on those projects, which most of my whips are not don't require intensive concentration, except the brioche section on shawlography. That one will require some thinking power. I haven't done a lot of brioche, so I have to pay attention, especially when I'm starting. So that's the second conference. The third conference runs on Thursday from 9 till 3. Notice I have 2 conferences that run on Thursday from 9, overlap on 9 till 1. I'm not sure how I'm going to work that. I suspect one of them I'll have to go back and rewatch the videos. These first 3 there's no cost involved with those. So when I have to pick and choose between the 2 sessions or the 2 conferences that are running simultaneously on Thursday, I can attend one, and the other one will be recorded and I'll be able to go back and watch the videos later. So that takes care of that. Then the 4th conference is a paid for conference, and this one starts Thursday evening and runs all the way through until Sunday evening. And this one, there's pretty much no participation unless, as I mentioned, I have questions to pose to the presenters, which I sometimes have, and frequently I don't have input. So the first one starts on Thursday. I think there's a session from 6 till 8 in the evening. Then Friday it starts at I think 10 and runs till 7 or 8 in the evening. There'll be little 20-minute breaks. I think there's 15-20-minute breaks every hour and a half or so. And Saturday is the same schedule. It starts at 10 in the morning and continues all the way through till I believe 7 o'clock in the evening. Again, with little breaks here and there. Then Sunday, it runs from 10 in the morning till 4 or 5 o'clock. I forget which one. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I have a boatload of time to knit. And I am hoping and expecting to get some major progress done. And then on the Monday, we're back to school. So one thing is I'm not sure when I'll get a chance to film my next podcast, because I typically film on Saturdays, but if I'm tied up from 10 till 8 or 10 till 7 in conference stuff, I might not get my taping done then. We shall see. I might do it a little bit earlier. I might wait and not film it until next Tuesday. Maybe I'll skip a week. I'm not sure. I will figure it out though. I might do that. I might leave it and film in 2 weeks, or I might just film it late or early. Depends on how much I get done. If I get a whole boatload done by Thursday, what I might do is film an episode Thursday afternoon when I have that free time between 2 till 6. I might be able to film then, or I don't know. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. If you haven't yet clicked the notification bell, hit the notification bell because it'll tell you when I've uploaded a new video. But that was a long drawn out way of telling you what's coming up this next week. I'm going to be fairly busy. Somewhere during this time frame I also have to make sure that I have all of my materials ready for classes to begin in a week from Monday morning. So I will have to have all my classes, my syllabi all set and ready. We haven't heard any details if there's going to be any change to how the semester is going to start for us. Right now I am going on the assumption that we return to work as we left in December. and that our face-to-face classes will be held as they were in the fall semester. We'll be required to wear masks while indoors, and our online classes will continue the same as they have. So I'm going on that assumption that my face-to-face class will be face-to-face come the 10th of January. There is a slight possibility that the university might opt to go remote for the first part of the year. They kind of hinted that that might happen before we left for the Christmas break, and said they would let us know closer to the 10th when classes start up again. So I imagine pretty much that the university is shut down until this Monday morning coming up. A lot of the administrative staff and whatnot are back on campus this Monday. So I think some decisions will be made on exactly what's going to happen for the upcoming semester. I'll just wait and see. Either which way, I need to get my syllabus ready for each of my classes, make sure all my materials are organized and ready, and all that blah 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 stuff. So anyways, this is a knitting podcast. You don't care about my work probably. Anyway, on that note, I should get going. I want to get the editing done on this, and I want to get my hands on my Sunday cardigan and get back to knitting on that. Get some knitting done for today. I haven't touched the knitting needles yet today. I gotta fix that. Alrighty everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a very happy new year, and I will see you again soon. Bye.